Take a good look at this media console. It's sitting in my living room right now, holding up a TV, some books, and a few little plants. The lines are clean, the joints are tight. It has that professional store-bought look that makes you think it came out of a high-end furniture catalog. The finish is smooth, and every corner seems perfectly square. It's sturdy, solid, and does its job without any wobbles or creaks. You might assume I used a whole workshop full of fancy equipment to build this. A big table saw, a fancy miter saw, maybe even a jointer and a planer to get everything just right. It looks like a project that requires years of experience and thousands of dollars in tools. But what if I told you that's not the case at all? What if I told you this entire piece was built with just a handful of basic tools, the kind of tools you might already have in your garage or can buy for less than the cost of a fancy dinner? I'm talking about a circular saw, a cordless drill, a small orbital sander, a few clamps, and a tape measure. That's it. No fancy table saw. No expensive joinery machines. Just the simple stuff. It seems impossible, right? How can you get such clean straight cuts and tight-fitting joints with tools that many serious woodworkers might look down on as being only for rough construction work? Well, that's exactly the point I wanted to make with this project. I hear from so many people who want to get into woodworking. They have great ideas and a real desire to build things with their own hands, but they stop before they even start. Why? Because they believe a massive barrier stands in their way. The cost of tools. They see online videos and magazine articles filled with workshops that look more like industrial factories, and they think, I could never afford all that. They get intimidated and give up on their dream of building something awesome, which is a real shame because it's just not true. So, I set out to prove it. I wanted to challenge this myth head-on and show everyone that you don't need a fortune to create furniture you can be proud of. You just need a little bit of knowledge, a healthy dose of patience, and the willingness to work with what you have. This project is my evidence. It's a testament to the power of simple tools when they are used thoughtfully. It's proof that the biggest obstacle to getting started in woodworking isn't the size of your workshop, but the size of your belief in what's possible. Let me show you how it was done, warts and all. The journey began with a large sheet of plywood. My main cutting tool was the trusty circular saw. Now anyone who has used a circular saw knows it's not famous for its precision. It's easy to drift off your line, and getting a perfectly square cut can be a real challenge. My solution was simple. A straight edge guide. I clamped a long, straight piece of scrap wood to my plywood, creating a fence for my saw to run against. This little trick transformed my handheld saw into a surprisingly accurate track saw, helping me make long, straight cuts for the main panels of the console. It took more time to set up for each cut than a table saw would, but the results were just as good. Of course, it wasn't all smooth sailing. One of the biggest enemies when cutting plywood with a circular saw is tear out. This is when the top layer of wood splinters along the cut line, leaving a fuzzy, ugly edge that looks anything but professional. To fight this, I used a couple of simple tricks. First, I put blue painter's tape along my cut line. This helps hold the wood fibers down and gives a much cleaner edge. Second, I made sure to use a blade with a high tooth count, as those are designed for finer cuts. It didn't eliminate tear out completely, but it reduced it enough that a little sanding could take care of the rest. Once the panels were cut, it was time for assembly. This part of the process really highlights the difference between beginner and pro tools. I used my cordless drill to create pocket holes for joining the panels together. A specialized pocket hole jig makes this easy, but you still have to be careful. I measured and marked everything twice before drilling. Clamping was my best friend here. I used every clamp I had to hold the pieces together tightly while I drove in the screws. This process was slow. I had to assemble one joint at a time, wait for it to be secure, and then move on to the next. A woodworker with a full shop might have used dados cut on a table saw for stronger joints or a biscuit joiner for perfect alignment. Those tools would have made the assembly faster and perhaps a bit stronger, but they weren't necessary. My pocket hole joints, combined with some wood glue, were more than strong enough for a media console. The key was taking my time. I had to be the one to ensure everything was square and aligned, using a framing square and lots of patience, instead of relying on a machine to do it for me. It took longer, but it didn't ruin the build. Everything was moving along smoothly. The main box of the console was assembled, and it was looking surprisingly good. I was feeling confident, maybe a little too confident. I was drilling the last set of pocket holes to attach the top panel. I was tired, rushing to get it finished. And then it happened. My drill slipped. Instead of drilling a clean pocket hole on the inside, the bit plunged straight through the side of the cabinet, blowing out a huge splintery hole on the outside surface. The very surface that everyone would see. My heart sank. The whole project was ruined. For a beginner, this is the moment you might just give up. You'd look at that ugly jagged hole and think, it's over. I can't fix this. I've wasted all this time and money. The frustration can be overwhelming. You might feel tempted to kick the project, throw your tools across the room and swear off woodworking forever. It feels like a total failure, a sign that you just don't have what it takes. All that hard work, all that careful measuring and cutting, was just undone in a single careless second. I've been there, and I know how crushing that feeling can be. But after the initial wave of panic, I took a deep breath. Okay, it's bad, but is it unfixable? I remembered a simple trick for situations just like this. I took a small plug cutter bit, a cheap accessory for any drill, and used it on a piece of scrap wood from the same plywood sheet. This gave me a small wooden plug with the same grain pattern. I carefully cleaned up the splintered hole with a chisel, applied some wood glue, and tapped the plug into place. I made sure the grain of the plug lined up with the grain of the panel. After the glue dried, I used a flush trim saw to cut the plug level with the surface, and then I sanded everything smooth. It wasn't perfect. If you look really closely, you can just barely see the outline of the patch, but once the final finish was applied, you would have to be searching for it to ever notice it. That mistake, which felt like the end of the world, became just a small, invisible scar. It was a powerful lesson. Most mistakes in woodworking are not fatal. They are just problems waiting for a creative solution. Fixing it was almost more satisfying than building the project itself. And here it is, the finished piece, back in the living room. Let's give it a test. I'm pushing down on the top with all my weight, no creaks, no wobbles. It's rock solid. The doors open and close smoothly. The shelves are level and hold a surprising amount of weight without sagging. It's not just a pretty box, it's a fully functional, strong piece of furniture that serves its purpose perfectly every single day. Seeing it there, knowing I built it with my own 2 hands and a few simple tools, is an incredible feeling. It's a daily reminder that you can create amazing things without a fancy workshop. So, what are the real lessons here? Beginner tools are incredibly capable. They can help you build beautiful, high-quality furniture. What they can't do is offer speed and convenience. Every cut, every joint, and every assembly step took more time and careful setup than it would have with more advanced tools. A table saw would have made the cuts faster. A dado stack would have made stronger joints more quickly. But the key is that the quality of the final piece wasn't compromised, only the speed of the build. So, when should you upgrade? Upgrade when you find yourself doing a task so often that the extra setup time is becoming a real drag on your enjoyment. Don't let the internet or magazines convince you that you're not a real woodworker unless you have a shop full of expensive machines. The truth is, woodworking is far more accessible than you think. It's about problem solving and creativity, not about the price tag of your tools. Start small. Buy a few decent quality basic tools. Learn how to use them safely and effectively. Learn how to work around their limitations. Build a simple box, then a small table, then maybe a media console like this one. You will make mistakes, but you will also learn how to fix them. That process of building, making mistakes, and finding solutions is what builds real confidence. It's a confidence that goes beyond woodworking. It teaches you that you are more capable than you thought. So if you've been standing on the sidelines, dreaming of building something, but feeling too intimidated to start, I hope this changes your mind. Grab a circular saw, get a sheet of plywood, and go make something awesome. You might just surprise yourself with what you can accomplish. Woodworking is for everyone. It's for mere mortals.